Hey, hey, hey. What's
What
up?
up?
What's up, everybody? Happy hump day.
Damn, it is something, ain't it?
It is.
Yeah,
Every time we get together, it's a Wednesday.
yeah. Most deaf.
What's going on
What
with
the
y'all?
fuck is what the fuck is RTJ the brand?
It's one of my husband's friend clothing line, RTJ the brand. Jamal, who watches the pod, this is his brand.
Oh, okay. What
Yeah.
RTJ what the RTJ stand for?
Respect the journey. Respect the journey, the brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You look so confused.
No, I was like, what the fuck is RTJ?
RTJ, respect the journey. What's going on, though? What's going on with you, Mark? I feel like I haven't been on screen with you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You know what I'm
You okay
saying?
over there?
Man, you know what I'm saying? Just working through some things, mobbing in these Philly streets, man. You know how I go. You know what I'm saying? It's about it.
All right. What about you, Merv?
Shit. I'm
You had to think about it. Like,
yeah, think about it. Oh yeah, I was on last week. Yeah, well shit. Glad to be back. I'm just damn I'm just doing like Pinky the Brain trying to conquer the world. Figure out some kind of damn way. One of these shits is gonna goddamn hit. One of these fucking ideas or one of these attempts to conquer the world is gonna happen. And when it happens, I'm gonna let y'all lads know about it. After it happened.
I mean, the world does need some saving.
Mm.
I'm sure y'all are aware of what's going
Yeah.
on in the
Who
streets.
you telling? Too much going on out here.
Yeah, it's been really I don't know. I feel like there's a shift happening in the world lately. It's too much stuff going on. It's too much. The laws against women, the laws against guns or for guns, the things that's happening in the streets, the violence, the crime. It's just a lot going on. Like, I know that they say retrograde is happening, but it feels like something else. It feels like some kind of shift is happening some other way. Like the earth is
Mhm.
tilting.
I don't
The
know.
earth. But
What's up, Tayson?
Yeah, what up? What up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Man.
oh, so you gonna speak to your Philly nigga first. You gonna like you forgot about it. That nigga gonna say what's good, Mark, and what's good, Becca and Murray. What the fuck is up with that? Don't think I ain't caught that shit, Tazon.
Hey
Talking
up,
about what's
Philly
good,
all
Mark.
day.
And then this
Y'all
nigga
know
like,
what it is.
oh, and what's good, Becca and Murph. Hey, fuck all that Philly shit. You need to speak to all us in the same energy, nigga. Talking about what's good, Mark. Oh, and
There you
Becca
go.
and
You know
Murph
what I
and shit.
mean?
Right.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's the
We were
anthem right there.
afterthoughts, Merv. We were afterthoughts. He was like, "Oh, let me say hi to
Right,
this thing on
right.
screen." It's
Hey,
okay.
hey,
It's okay.
Becca, that nigga's about to hit send and like, oh shit. I ain't say nothing to Becca and Murph. That nigga had to do that. And Becca Murph.
Right. He had the
Send.
backspace.
Yeah. What the fuck you think this is, man? Like we was gonna call you out on that shit.
That's all right, Tayson. We still love you. What you drinking on, Merv? I see you better go grab something.
Yo, I got something to drink, but I'm about to be real niggers because the day is Wednesday, so we're gonna make this shit Wings Wednesday because I'm about to eat some wings on live TV. Fuck that, I'm hungry. I eat all motherfucking day. So whoever watching is gonna have to talk shit, and I don't care because I'm starving. I want to eat and talk.
This
God
is gonna be ASMR pod, a mukbang.
Yeah, shoot. That man said he ain't eat all day. You know what I'm saying?
No, it be like that sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
you really be so busy with life, you just
That
be like,
man
"Oh
said
man,
he ain't eat all day.
look at him, look,
I ain't mad at him. You know what I mean? Shit. That man ain't eat all day.
That's right. Peace Valley coming up. Hey,
Man.
hey.
We ain't
Have you
talking about that shit tonight, yo. That's Tuesday. Like, drop
we
that shit.
Hey,
That's not
Merv,
that's not
have
that's
you
not
watched
what
it
they
yet?
topic. What?
Merv, have you watched it yet or no?
Nah.
Well, you got a week, man. You got
Man,
Well, yeah,
Didn't I
you
tell
got.
y'all we ain't talking about that shit today?
I just asked, did he watch it? That's all. You know what I mean? I haven't watched it yet, but I was
Yeah.
like, I might jump on
He triggered Mark. He
Well, you
triggered.
can't give Becca a goddamn inch when it comes to that shit because she'll goddamn try to talk a whole goddamn topic about that shit.
it.
You know I can hear you, Murph.
Oh,
Man,
my bad.
I feel attacked. Oh my gosh. Well, tell me how you really feel.
I just did.
He said,
The whole
look,
damn
say
thing
that
is
for
so-
Tuesday. Say that for Tuesday. I feel you.
Nah, but it's. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited. about
Got
it.
you.
Hey, Mark, I
Yeah.
will say this. Because you got one female that's a loyal follower on Tuesday, been asking me every goddamn week, Murph, you change your mind, Murph, you change your mind. I said, nope, not watching that shit. Nope. We are not going to
Dang.
review that shit on Tuesday. Now, like, if 10 ladies come on and say watch that shit, we'll watch it. Mark, they must have sent out a goddamn mass text. Guys, the most females I've seen on our fucking Tuesday show in my 2 fucking years.
Man, shoot, they want y'all, they want you to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They want you to talk about that. I like, man, they want you to talk
Part of
about it.
the P gang, Murph. We need you part of the P gang.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I like, man, they want
Yo,
you to
that's
talk about it.
on the damn wings.
Jeez.
They must be good, Murph.
No, he ain't eat all day, so you really don't know if they good or he just hungry. I mean, you know, it might be both, but it might be one. We don't really know.
I can't do nothing but respect it. When you hungry, you really just don't care.
You gotta go in. You gotta go
You
in.
really just don't care.
You gotta go in. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta go in.
I'm not mad at all. So we're gonna start and we're gonna get the obvious out of the way. Because I don't want this pod to go too left.
Okay.
But
Hold on. What you about to talk about?
you know what we're about to
Shoot.
talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, let's get this out the way real quick.
Yeah.
Because I just like, man, you know, I mean, we all got thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Let's get to it. Fobb Elementary shooting.
Yep.
So the information has been coming out, and from my understanding, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. So far, we have 19 students, and I believe 2, maybe 3 teachers. I'm not sure. I know 2 for sure, but they're saying there might be a 3rd teacher.
Well, it's 22 total.
22 total. Okay.
Yeah.
Where
But
do
that 22 might be including the gunman, though. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not
Well,
sure.
yeah, he was shot down by law enforcement.
Yeah.
Which I felt should have happened in Buffalo, but that's a whole nother topic.
Man.
They should have shot that little nigga down when they ran up on him at the supermarket. They should have shot his ass down. But anyway, because that was definitely on some racist shit. But since you chewing, Merv, I'll go to Mark first. Mark, what was your first thoughts about this besides the obvious about how where did you?
I'm like, you know, here's the thing. I mean, you know, when you first heard about it, you're sad. You know what I'm saying about what happened. I mean, I think they were having like move up day at the school. They were doing ceremony, honor roll, all of that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm like, man, this is one thing that I remember, you know, back when I was in school and I was a little kid, back, you know what I'm saying, for when, you know what I mean, for my older nieces and nephews were in school, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just like, usually sometimes when you have an honor roll or move up day or whatever, your parents or your guardians offer you a choice. Like, yo, you want to stay at school with your friends or whatever? You want to, yo, we go in this restaurant, go get something to eat. You know, we're going to eat some crab legs or something like that. And usually you roll out with your parents or your peoples or whatever because the ceremony's over. You don't really have to stay at school. It's not like a regular day or whatever, right? And I'm quite sure some of them parents took their kids and left. Like, ceremony over. You know what I mean? Yo, we about to go to Cheesecake Factory, grab something to eat. We about to go, over here, grab something to eat, and we gonna celebrate with family. I'm quite sure that happened. You know what I'm saying? So the kids who elected to stay and just, I want to be with my friends, and we gonna be out for the summer. I'm like, man, I would feel terrible if I offered, for my kid that choice. He chose to stay with his friends, and now he's not here. That's the first thing, that popped in my mind when I heard a ceremony was at the school. You know what I'm saying? Because usually ceremony at the school, you roll out. You don't stay at school. You be out. You know what I'm saying?
The thing that got me the most is because, my daughter's the same way. Like, if there's a function at school, or if there's, she does cheerleading, but she also wants to go to the games. She watches the games of some of the other sports. Like, she just likes to be around her friends.
Mm.
And as a parent, when you send your child off to school, you expect them to be safe, right?
Absolutely.
That would be nice for them to be safe, right? For you to know that you're putting your child in a facility. What's up, Jamal? That will be concerned about their safety. Because it's not just the children's safety, it's safety for them as well. And my pleasure, Jamal. Merv, that's Jamal. That's whose brand this is. I know you was asking whose brand this was, but this shout out to Jamal RTJ, the brand. You want to send your child to a safe environment, and
absolutely,
a lot of times children go to the because of certain laws, they go to their zone school. They go to the school that's in their area. Everybody goes to that school. Everybody knows each other, right?
Yeah.
I know for me, when I came down here, not knowing anything, when you shop around for schools, especially, you want, one of the things you look for is the curriculum of, if you care, right? If you care, because I know most schools, especially elementary, are all teaching the same thing, and safety. Most schools you can't just walk into, right? There's at least a security guard or a front desk person or an office right when you first walk in.
But you know what, Becca?
All the doors locked.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this real quick. You know what I mean? And then I want you to continue. I'm like, this is a small town. This town has like 15,000 people. I'm like, how many elementary schools is in a town with 15 or 20,000 people? How many we talking? 1, 2? I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm like, it might be like 6 schools total in the entire town, if that. Right. You can go ahead.
Right. And just the ability to just be able to walk into a school. I again, the details are still unfolding. Right. I'm not sure if he broke through, if there was a door he kind of made his way through, or if there was no type of boundary in the very beginning of the school. Most schools usually have some type of something at the front. I know
even in a small town though, like
it is a small town. But even in a small town, there's no consideration of safety. How was this? Forget him being able to get, because we have another situation where we have a young male,
right?
Not only an AR-15 but body armor. So this is twice in 1 week that this has happened, where the shooter was young, had a military grade weapon, and was wearing body armor. The second time in this week that's happened. Yeah. So that them getting that is a whole issue. But how are you able to just walk into a school and all the students that died were supposedly in one classroom, and you just start busting shots at 8, 9, 10-year-olds, and people don't think that mental health is a real thing? I know it's trendy.
It's definitely wild. It's definitely wild. But I'm saying I got to go back to this small town thing, right? Because I met this like a couple weeks ago. I met a couple people from a town in Virginia, very small town, right? And they were telling me, they were like, yeah, I like, what y'all doing up in Philly? And they were like, they were checking something out, some exhibit, some Harry Potter thing, that was going on at the Franklin Institute here in Philly, one of the museums. And it was just like, yeah, in our town, it's such a small town, like, people don't even lock their doors to their house or their car, nothing like that. So I'm just like,
I
you
would
know what I
never,
mean? Like,
I would never be that trusting. Never.
I don't mean to make light of a situation, but I'm just like, if you're in a town with 15,000 people, right? I'm guessing, y'all mean, for real, security ain't gonna look nothing like, y'all mean, when you from the city. Y'all mean, because it's 15,000 people, everybody knows everybody. Yo, that, your grandmama, y'all mean, was my, y'all mean, I don't know how much security weighs into a town that got 15,000 people. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. There may not have been, when you're thinking of small towns, you're not thinking of the money being available to have the type of security and resources that we would think would be there, right? Even for school,
Yeah.
we would hope that there is enough. But in small towns, there are certain things that's just not the same as big cities. That's clear. But just from our upbringing, all of us come from cities. Even I don't care if it was a small town. If I knew everybody there, I would never feel that okay to just leave doors open. And I know that that's a real thing. Like, you have people who leave their doors open, leave their windows open. I've been in neighborhoods, even down here in North Carolina, where you can see straight into the house. Like, they don't even have any curtains in the front window. And I'm like,
well,
I don't understand that.
Well, Becca, this is one of the things where you got well, definitely the two of y'all, because y'all come from a larger city, where you got to kind of like step outside of your shoes and kind of step in somebody else's shoes, because Mark is right. A lot of towns that's real small and tight knit, where they know everybody. I mean, like, they know, like, everybody know the same barber. Everybody goes to the same barber. Everybody goes to the same gas station. I mean, when it's a real small town, the fact that you know everybody, a lot of them don't like lock their doors, and it's like a lot of small towns don't have like murders or violent crime like that, because usually it's so small. The sheriff know everybody. It's hard to get away with stuff because everybody know everybody. Everybody's kind of like family or whatnot because they're so close. So it's tight with small towns. They're gonna think differently than you being in New York, Mark being in Philly.
But even for a school, they wouldn't consider the safety in a school. Maybe your personal home, that's different, but a school, wouldn't they think to at least have some type of system at the school?
I mean,
no, it'll be the same. It's gonna, okay. It's still gonna be the same concept, because the teachers at school are still the same people that live in the neighborhood. You still got that concept, and this was 70 miles from San Antonio, and not far from above Mexico County. 70% of the people in this town was Hispanic descent, and majority of people spoke two different languages, English and Spanish and other stuff. So it was also like a small Spanish community, and you don't hear too many times about Spanish committing crime on each other. So that probably gave another sense of comfort, the fact that it was a small Spanish town. That's the other thing.
Yeah, because Border Patrol was, on the scene. So it's a border town. It's, like Merv said, this can't be far from the border. Really, this really has to be very close to the border. This particular town.
Yeah, I feel like it's really sad that, the guns that are there. I understand people having them for safety, but I do feel like there are some changes that got to be made. Just anybody being able to get military rifles and body armor, I don't think that is cool. Especially when it's so easily gotten, and anybody can get it, even the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people can get it. You have situations that leave everybody in danger, and those parents did not expect their children to die
No,
like
of
that
course
day.
not.
And as a parent, that's the part that really gets me. I would hate to have to worry about things. Those are certain things that I would never want my child to experience. Being in school and having to deal with something like that, like a tragedy, is one of them. The biggest thing that my daughter has dealt with was one of the nurses at her school passed away in a car accident. And the next day of the school kind of, instead of doing their regular classes, they went to each classroom, was like, if there's any student, and this nurse had been there for a while, so all the students had knew her. Even the teachers, the whole school was mourning, and they was asking the teachers and the students, if you guys need a minute, we do have professionals that came, because my daughter goes to a private school, so they're able to have those kind of resources. If the children were crying, my daughter was sad about it. She wasn't crying to the point where she was like, oh man, she's gone. So they do have those resources that they may not have at any other public school or in small towns like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very scary thing to drop your child off at school and hope that this doesn't happen. It's bad.
Well, so go ahead, Mark.
All right, so here's the Jamal put a comment, said they have a system in place, but like y'all said, it was a small town. They were more than likely relaxed on security at the school, and unfortunately, a tragic situation unfolded there.
Sure.
So here's the other thing, man. Y'all know not many things trigger me, right? Like, I don't really get. I'm a Kuna Matata, regardless of what we're talking about. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of even kill. But as soon as this happened, I started seeing some shit already.
Yeah.
And people talking about this fucking mental illness.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Yo, every fucking murderer is not mentally ill. Matter of fact, Judy Watson posted something on Facebook that said mental illness, a lot of violence, most of violence is not perpetuated from mental illness. And it's a matter of fact, majority of victims, or majority of times, is people that has mental illness, are usually the ones that will be a victim or will receive or will suffer from somebody else doing violent crimes. Please don't give this nigga a cop out or a fucking excuse talking about mental illness. Yo, you just have some evil fucking people in the world.
Grandmother right before doing it, they tried to bring that in as well. Like, he shot his grandmother, then he went and shot some children. Something's wrong with him.
But
nah.
Here's the thing, though, right? They you know what I mean? It's the same thing with every mass shooter, school shooter, right? Yeah, it's the same story. You know what I mean? The same story every time, right? Yo, he has mental illness. Yo, he was picked on at school. Yo, he didn't have any friends. You know what I mean? Or any girlfriends or anybody. You know what I mean? He was just alone in his thoughts. And then he developed, you know what I mean, for real, this thing where, yo, I'm gonna get revenge on people. I'm gonna get at somebody or whatever because his life sucked. Like, I'm tired of that story because every mass shooter has the same story. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, all of us grew up in a different time, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know what I mean, people will cut on you, you cut on them. Sometimes it would be real bad, you know what I mean? But it didn't make you, want to go and shoot up a school, like, or anything like that, right?
Right.
So now, you know what I mean? Like, when I talk to, any of my youngins or whatever, it's like, yo, I'm like, I always got to think like I'm not in the same times as they are. You know what I'm saying? It's more very emotional people who get triggered over the slightest thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, listen. And I was talking to my nephew about this, before this incident happened, but I was just talking to him just in general. And it's just like, yo, when you in school, man, you dap everybody up. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, I'm like, that kid might never got that from nobody. You know what I mean? But at least, you know what I mean, for it's just like, yo, he was all right with it. So, you know
So
what I mean? I don't know.
Mark and Beck, I got a question. And this might make some people uncomfortable. But this is a real question because it may have been 2 months ago or last year. I just don't know. But can y'all tell me when last time there was a black mass shooter?
Yeah, the guy in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just happened.
Was it the train?
Yeah, the guy was shooting everybody on the train, and he had a fake bomb or something.
He told the lady next time.
It ain't that many of them, Murph. You know what I mean? For if you want to get at that part of the question, it ain't that many. Yeah, minority mass shooters. Most of them white.
This was in April. It was in April, April 15th. There was a mass shooting in a Brooklyn subway.
Yeah, and remember that other black guy a couple years ago who was driving that white Ford Fusion, was shooting everybody up like 4 years ago, right before the pandemic or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I was telling people. I was like, look, yo, if you're black and you got a white Ford Fusion, park that shit. You know what I mean? Before cops unload on you. You know what I'm saying?
No, seriously.
Yeah, serious. No, because there's a couple people hit me on my Facebook. Yeah, I mean, when I made the stat, they was like, "Damn, I got a white Ford Fusion." I'm like, "Look, you better take an Uber."
Was that the one that went around shooting cops?
I don't know if he was shooting cops, but he was like going like from state to state, and it was always he killed somebody. Then they finally got a picture of the guy. He was black, and then he got killed like outside of Philly, like or whatever, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he started from like a few states away. You know what I'm saying? Or he killed himself. I don't know which one was it, but he was black. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that many, but it's a couple. You know what I'm saying? But the same things come into play, right? Yeah, I mean, it's always mental illness. You ain't had no friends. Yeah, I mean, you was a loner. Yeah, I mean, and people picked on you. It's always the same script with everybody who's a mass shooter. You know what I'm saying? It's never you never hear about a mass shooter like, yo, he was a popular guy. Everybody liked him. He got all the girls. You never hear that story from no mass shooter.
That's not mental illness, yo. That's still not mental illness.
No, it
seems like people are using that. I think what's happening is that people are starting to get on to, well, not people, because I think this is always their tactic. They are starting to realize how they can get off, right? We always know those lawyers that know what to say and how to say it so that their defendants can get off. And what's been happening is they've been using mental health as a reason, insanity, passion, a crime of passion, certain things that they title it. So that way it can seem as if this person was normal, or if this person was sane, that this would not have happened. So the only reason that this happens because there's a imbalance in the brain, which is making them do this, because that's the same thing that they use for the guy that jumped on Dave Chappelle. They said that he had some mental illness issues and he was triggered by Dave Chappelle's jokes, and that's the reason why he jumped on stage. So I think this is their new
We're gonna talk about that bullshit too. Man.
So I think we're going to see more of this. I think we're going to start to see more of people saying, I was mentally ill, or I had some type of something going on in the brain. Because
so let me ask you this:
how they're getting off.
I got another tough question for y'all. Somebody brought it up on Facebook. So this guy he got killed.
Yeah,
the shooter got killed.
Yeah,
and somebody brought up that no, he wasn't black, but he was a person of color. Mm-hmm. He got killed, and the mass shooters that's Caucasian always seem to get arrested without harm.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that? Somebody brought that up. I mean, I'm not trying to be insensitive about it, about what happened, or make it more than what it is. But someone did bring that up. that I saw on Facebook. So I just want to get y'all thoughts on what y'all think about that. Any thoughts on that at all, or just coincidence about
well,
any thoughts?
they find a way, to, what I mean, take, I'm saying, for real, white folks alive, when something like this happens. I mean, I don't know, I'm like, yo, it just seems to happen like that. Like, I don't know, like, man, when the cops come in and they say drop your weapon, they automatically drop it. I don't know if they shoot at the cops. That's the part I never know about the mass shooting. Are they busting at the cops? Yeah, I mean, the cops like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, peace. Like, I don't never know that part of the story. They never tell it. But I'm like, it's not that many persons of color who are mass shooters or whatever. So I'm not saying, it's a white thing, but it mostly is a white thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Well,
it's facts. We've seen it so many times. They get taken away, handcuffed. They get, whether it's them being fed or them just being talked to, they're in the back of the truck. I'm sure that y'all have seen that meme, but there's a young a black person and a white person in the back of a car.
Yeah.
The black person was beat up and bloodied, and the white guy asks the black guy, "What are you here for?" He said, "I just had a tail light out." And
the white guy was Dylan Root. That was the cartoon.
Right. And that's the reality. That's what it seems like. And I hate to make it racy, but yes, that's exactly what it is. Well, we can't escape the facts. That's what's happening.
I'm gonna say like this
to be black.
To be honest with you,
non-white.
Because it's like it's more of a white problem. You know what I mean? For I'm like, they gonna have to get upset. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, we gonna have to up the age of this gun shit. And you can't just walk in, oh, I don't got a criminal record. Oh yeah, here's your bazooka. Like, you know what I mean? It should be some type of test that you do have to go through, you know what I mean, to get a gun. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know what I mean, for if you 18, you know what I'm saying? And this is, look, you know what I mean? You can't get a gun yet unless, you know what I mean, you get one on the street, you know what I mean? Then that's the way you got to get it. But, it
was a statement that was put out because this started to create the conversation about gun laws and how it has been on the floor for a couple years, but there's a few people that just won't vote for it or against it. And it's kind of just sitting there. And there was a statement put out. The National Rifle Association of America releases a statement in response to the deadly shooting at Texas elementary school. It says, our deepest, let me get rid of this right here so I can see all of it. Our deepest sympathy are with the families and victims involved in this horrific and evil crime. On behalf of our members, we salute the courage of school officials, first responders, and others who have offered their support and services. Although an investigation is underway and facts are still emerging, we recognize this was the act of a lone, deranged criminal. As we gather in Houston, we will reflect on these events, pray for the victims, recognize our patriotic members, and pledge to redouble our commitment to making our schools secure.
That's just lip service. That's bullshit.
I was just about to ask you, is that a CYA
that ain't real?
Your ass kind of statement, or do they really care?
I mean, but you know what though? Here's the thing, right? The people who want to keep this shit in place, right? I'm not even talking just the lawmakers. I'm talking. It's like, yo, the right to bear arms. I gotta protect my home. I'm like, dude, nothing happens at your house. Like nobody's shooting on your block. Nobody's shooting on the next block and the block over and the block after that. Everybody who just loves, for this gun laws and the right to bear arms, nothing happens where they live. I mean, absolutely nothing.
And
so
to be honest with you,
all right, but watch this though, right? Y'all seen this because I think this happened in the South, right? Remember when it was like that gas shortage, right? It was a picture of the guy, with the M16 next to the gas pump or whatever, right? While his friend was pumping gas. I'm like, dude, nothing happens at your house, right? You know what I'm saying? You're just carrying this gun because it's just like, yo, I got the right to bear arms. I'm like, you ain't shot nothing, but some farm animals. You ain't been in no combat. You know what I mean? You ain't had to shoot at people who was trying to shoot at you. You ain't nobody breaking your house and you was firing off shots. Nothing like that happened to you. You know what I mean? But yet, yo, man, I got a bear arms, man. And you know what I'm saying? Come on, man, cut it out, man. You don't live
like you in war, like you in
You don't
Afghanistan.
live there.
And you know what? Me and my husband talk about this all the time because in North Carolina here, we're in a state where you can carry.
Yeah.
Most people who carry their guns on them on a daily basis, they don't act up in the streets like that because they will hope to have never pull it out. True people who are gun carrying people don't act like gun carrying people. They be chilling. If you go to gun shows or whatever, everybody's chilling. They are not out there, you know, loud and boisterous about, oh yeah, we got our guns. Yeah, they have them on them, but they're not out waving their guns like, hey, we're so happy to be having our guns on them. If you know true people that really wear guns, they conceal them. You can show it if you want, but they're not in the streets acting up. If nothing has happened to you, especially if you live in a neighborhood of your own kind, and you feel like you got to bear arms to protect yourself, what's happening? You're not protecting yourself from your neighbors, or God forbid you get robbed or something happens to you at home. You want to have that gun so that you can act up in the street and shoot somebody black and say you felt offended or you felt in danger. That's all it is that you want to do, because most of the time you out there shooting deer and shooting animals. You're not out there busting your guns just because nothing's happening in your neighborhood.
So let me ask you this:
you have a gun because you're unsafe in your neighborhood.
Let me ask y'all this: the dude that just did that shit at the school, he bought his gun by himself on his own.
Yep.
He was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like both y'all said the age should be raised. So what age do you think you should be allowed to buy a gun? If you had to
50. These niggas is crazy.
I'm gonna say like this, to me, I'm like 18. You gotta take yourself back, you know what I mean, for real, like emotionally when you were 18. You know what I mean? Not that you wanted to go around killing anybody, and not that you had a life, you know what I mean, for that, where you know, every one of us had friends and we were social and all of that shit. But what I'm saying is that 18, even a normal 18-year-old, it can be a bit unstable at times. I'm like, I know I was. So I mean, imagine, you know what I mean, you're 18-year-old and your life sucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's the last person you want to have a gun, you know what I'm saying, on them, because your life sucks. Like, and it's kind of your fault that it does. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, you know, somebody got no friends, a loner, don't nobody talk to him. Man, you want that person to have a gun? Not me.
Well, man, hold on, let me ask you and Becca this. Take out the traits that you just said, as far as like being a loner and nobody like you. All right. Between the ages of 16 and 20. Mm-hmm. Between the ages of 16 and 20. Add one more year, between 16 and 21, because in case we would just want to do between 18 and 21. How many times, and be honest, how many times that both y'all got in a situation where y'all was either real shitting, real upset, somebody pissed y'all off, or you just was in this circumstance situation that if you happen to have possession of a gun, you probably would have shot at somebody.
0.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Yo, look, I'm like, man, you know what I mean? You know, it wouldn't have worked. You know what I'm saying? Wait, you got a gun on you, you know what I'm saying? And you in this situation and you and your boys, y'all fighting these other guys and you got the upper hand because you got a gun? Oh man, it would have went left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad. I'm glad, y'all mean, my dad taught me how to throw hands. So you know what I'm saying? We just use them.
So Becca, you never been so upset in a situation that you was like, I'm glad I don't have any kind of weapon on me?
No, I got hands. But I've also never been in a situation where I felt that angry where physical harm was my option. Um,
Okay.
I I never been in, especially not in high school. In high school, see, even though I grew up in the hood, I wasn't in the streets. So I have a very different type of teenage life. I went to a performing arts school. I was learning monologues and plays. I was
Okay.
all through MTV studios. I wasn't in the streets like that. So I never had to experience situations where I felt like I needed a gun. I never even I although I've been to the gun range, it was only a few years ago that I have ever really heard gunshots close to me. And my very first time going to the gun range, I was traumatized. Like I went and the guy was teaching me how to hold the gun, how to shoot the bullets, and all of that. And the very first time I had to stop and breathe. I had never heard gunshots that close to me. It was loud, and every time one went off, I jumped. It was so crazy because y'all know I'm thug life. But when I was in a gun range, I was like, oh hell no. And then my first time shooting it was super weird. Although my shots was great, but even the guy that worked there was like, ma'am, are you sure that you can do this? Because if you don't feel like you can, I can't allow you to shoot because I don't want you
Gotcha.
to be too scared and make a mistake.
Right.
Well, I know some law-abiding citizens, all right, that I know that we talk at like in their younger years, you know what I'm saying, between the ages of like 17 and 24, 23, that they've been in situations, they've been mad, they felt very fucking disrespected and just angry. They're they're not angry. They're not angry people. Their that's not their personality. But they've been in situations where they felt very disrespected, angry, and mad. Where if they had a weapon, shit would have went left.
Mm.
And I'm talking
Yeah.
about law-abiding citizens that got a corporate job, family, et cetera, that don't even think about violence. They're not hood, they're not street. It just happened to be in a couple of situations that if they had a weapon, they could have very well been locked up.
Yeah.
Um, and so the reason why I asked that is not even really about somebody being a loner or whatnot. I just think at that age, yo, we just don't think right. It's not mental illness. It's more immaturity
Yeah, you
than
young.
anything.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like some people
But
don't know how to handle when they get upset. Some people know how to take a deep breath. Some people
right.
don't know how to do stress relief. Stress will make a motherfucker do shit.
But
Conflict
I'm like,
And
resolution.
man,
and stress is not mental illness, but stress will make a motherfucker do shit that they normally wouldn't do. That's not mental illness though.
but
Right.
here's
It's
the
the
thing
ability to
though.
have conflict
Matt,
resolution. That's something
I
we're
mean,
not taught.
Merv, you're talking about a person that young, but imagine if a person that young think that they life suck. Like that stress is going to be way more, y'all mean, on that person because they think their life is full of like crap. Like,
Ain't
yeah,
worth living.
it's going to be worse for them.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
that's why I hate when things like this happen and they bring up mental illness. Because we do live in a world that if you let it will make you crazy. Yes, we do. We do live in that kind
Mhm.
of world. There's adults, 40, 50, 60-year olds that are still trying to navigate themselves through this very unpredictable world. So I know for a fact that an 18-year-old in a small town whose first language is probably not English, who has a lot of family in this small town, if they are right by the border, right? If they have all of these things that's going on, if they're alone and all of that stuff, I know for a fact that that person should not be able to just go into anywhere, buy a rifle, buy body armor, shoot their grandmother, then go to a school and shoot up an entire classroom of fourth graders and
Yeah.
teachers. That should not, I don't care how much y'all want to bear your arms to protect yourselves. I think anybody of sound mind can say that should not be possible.
But these people who, you know what I'm saying, they all for this, right to bear arms. I ain't talking about, I mean, now Becca, you pointed out the real, you know what I mean, for the real cool individuals, like, man, like they might carry their gun, but you don't really even know they have it on them like that. They just trying to go about their business, right? We ain't talking about that. We talking about, you know what I mean, for the people who be like, yo, man, you know what I mean, I got this M16 and I was shooting rabbits. You know what I mean? Now I want to take my gun everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, it's those people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, you know what? I'm like, man, I don't never wish nothing bad on nobody, but I wish something happened to their family. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, you're going to think different about that shit if something happened to your people. I can guarantee it.
Right, and then the father saying that he didn't know that his son was violent. He didn't know that he had that gun. If he did, he would have turned him in.
No, you probably ain't bang with your son. You probably
would not. That,
you know.
I don't think that's not necessarily bullshit. That's not necessarily bullshit, because if you, like, let's say that he's the boy is how Mark said it. You know what I'm saying? He's a loner. He don't be with nobody. So if you see your son, they don't really round nobody. You gotta be around people for you to see any kind of violence or whatnot. I mean, the father made, like, sometimes we don't know everything that all fucking kids are into. Like, it's still some shit that my dad don't know that I've done when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. So I'm not gonna call bullshit on that, but like Mark said, it sounded like he probably wasn't around. He probably didn't talk with his son as much as he probably should have.
Yeah.
But it's shit. Like, it does make you ask the question, why the fuck would he shoot his grandmother?
That's probably who he was raised by. Like, I mean, people would think, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody said this to me, and they was just like, yeah, but the bull was Spanish, though. You know what I mean? You probably come from a big family. I'm like, well, maybe you do, but they might not be all family like that. You know what I'm saying? He might have only been around his grandma. That might have been the only person that ever actually loved the bull. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He might not even really even know his family like that. So, you know what I'm saying? You could, like, if you in your room and you just, and there's too much information out there on a bunch of bullshit anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of these mass shooters, every time it's some manifesto they wrote or some, and they dig into the history of what they were, into or whatever, and it's a whole bunch of weird shit. So I'm just like, this dude could have been like in his room, you know what I mean, just reading a whole bunch of bullshit, just like the bull in Buffalo, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he developed that whole thing, you know what I mean? But I just like, man, I don't know.
It's very unfortunate, and I mourn for those parents who now have to bury their children. I did hear that there's 2 funeral homes that are not going to charge for their services to bury the children of this tragedy. So shout out to them for stepping in. Since we are talking about
did y'all see y'all probably didn't look, did y'all see the picture of the kids?
I did. I had to scroll past though. I couldn't.
It's all like I did look, and I believe all 14 was of Spanish. Of the Spanish.
Yeah, I think it's a Spanish town though.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a Spanish town. It's a Spanish town.
I today I had to stay off. Social media because it was just everywhere. And I watch a lot of podcasts and videos throughout the day, and it's the topic on every outlet is the topic. So, I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that and rest in peace to those children. But I couldn't like there was one I was listening to the radio and they was saying the name and age, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm like you, Merv. I just certain things, it affects you because you're like, damn, that shit is tragic and it's sad that it happened. But I feel like there's a special place for people that do things to children, especially in this type of manner. And the fact that I'm glad that they shot his ass down. That's just how I feel about it. But you did mention about the mental health thing, and this is something that we are seeing a lot of. This idiot right here, this dum dum, Dave Chappelle's alleged attacker says that he was emboldened by Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. He also talked about how he was triggered by Dave Chappelle's jokes, that he happened to be a single father who feels that the jokes on the LGBTQIA plus community, and there was also a joke that was made by another comedian in regards to pedophilia, that he just felt attacked, and he had mentioned this to Dave before the show somehow. Nonetheless, he went on stage. He got his ass beat, as he should have, because don't come on my stage. I don't care how you feel. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't come to my show. Anyway, I know, Merv, this is something that you wanted to bring up. What were your thoughts on this dumbass excuse?
So I actually read it. So the two things that he said triggered him was the LGBT community, because he's bisexual, and the other thing that triggered him was a joke about homelessness, because he said he was homeless at one time, and Will Smith doing what he did gave him the courage or the umph to be like, yo, I'm going to check him. Will Smith checked Chris Rock, so I'm going to check him because comedians need to read the room and be aware of what jokes or what's okay to joke about or what's okay to talk about. And the other thing, he's an aspiring rapper. So he also did, he's an aspiring rapper. So he also did this shit for a little clout, notoriety, and his name trending and talking.
So I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm following you. So you feel like this might get you some clout. So you jump on stage, the stage of Dave Chappelle, with a gun that will shoot a knife out.
No, not a gun that shoot a knife out.
No, fake gun.
It was a knife in the form of a gun. It's just a regular knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your way of getting clout is not maybe to go online and do like a song that is maybe popular, or maybe be underneath the comments like Homeboy did with his wife. You thought to get clout was to attack Dave Chappelle? And you don't think that you thought that you was going to only get clout and not your ass beat?
No, I think for
nigga was mentally ill.
I think for people, I think for a lot of some of these young boys, the clout is the thing that they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really care about the consequences. It's the clout. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like you ever see what I mean for with them boys, you know what I mean, for they be trying to prank people or whatever and get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is like, listen, getting their ass whooped was worth it because they got the clicks and the views and the likes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real weird that this is how it is, but this is kind of how it is. But let me add something to the story. This same guy, like, you know what I mean, just got arrested for attempted murder, trying to murder his roommate.
Yes, a couple days ago.
Yeah, so yep. I was like, so for everybody who's like, man, I can't believe he should have been charged with more with trying to attack a Chappelle, whatever. Well, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get charged a lot now. So, he definitely going to do some jail time. You know what I'm saying? That's without question.
And he's been talking too. He's been talking. He's been giving interviews, or at least giving audio clips of stuff. And he said that, now that this has happened with his roommate, he could possibly go to jail, and he's worried about who's going to raise his son if he does go to jail. And he's supposed to be going to jail for a long time too. So why wouldn't you think of that before you decide to jump on somebody's stage? Whether it wasn't Dave Chappelle, but it could have been a smaller comedian. Why would you think to do that? Like, I always say this, and people always prove me right. People do the most counterproductive shit to get their point across, or to get a point made, or to one up somebody. It is the most counterproductive shit. So now your ass is going to jail.
But
Prison.
let's call it what it is. Clout chasing is a drug, and motherfuckers be addicted, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You see it all the time. Whenever you turn on your TV, right? It ain't just with the rappers or aspiring rappers. It's with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that that's not my addiction or anything like that, but you see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? You could walk outside your door and you'll see somebody doing something that's just you think is totally dumb, but then you start thinking about they try and get clout. That's it. That's all.
What you got, Merv?
Yeah, I agree with Mark. That's what it is. It's not mental illness. I think a lot of these motherfuckers is cloud chasing. Because best believe that nigga's gonna try to use mental illness. That motherfucker that attacked Chappelle and took the murder charge with roommate. I promise you, his lawyer is going to use that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they're already trying. They already trying.
And the thing is, though, when you see these people when they do shit and they they get famous off or infamous off this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? They already got the look of a weirdo. Like, they got the look. Now you got to pull off the act, in the court. But they got the look, because I'm like, when you look at him, he looks like a weirdo. Then he got beat up. He looked like more of a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you can, so when you going before a jury, right? A jury might think, the same thing, that we think. Well, you do look like a weirdo. You do sound crazy. Maybe he is mentally ill. Like, some of the jury gonna think that shit. I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of clout chasing, bam, Juicy Smollett directorial debut. B-Boy Blues finds home at BET Plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, so there's a new show that he's doing, and so the show is actually not about him. It's not about him. It's about it's a true story that he's doing, and he's been shopping this around to try and get people to do this. This was something that he had been wanting to do prior to his Subway incident, and now he's at BET Plus, and some people feel a kind of way about that for two reasons. Because he's supposed to be canceled, so we're supposed to be letting him sit this out for a little bit. Boy. Then the other issue is that it's BET Plus, a black station, right? Black entertainment. Well, supposedly still black, but we know that BET has changed to white. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Juicy Smollett coming back after his I am not suicidal moment, his Broadway performance in the courtroom?
Man, I really don't give a fuck. I mean, like, I
tell us how you really feel.
No, I really don't give a fuck. I didn't think his he was. Man, I didn't think he was big enough to get as much attention that he got any damn way. You know what I mean? Like, when he did that. Now he definitely should have got in trouble for those fake charges. So I'm not saying that, but as big as it was, charge that nigga for false charges, put him in jail, let him do his time, and let him get out. And I mean, the nigga was acting on a big time TV show. I get it. The nigga served his time. The motherfucker out. It's not like he didn't go unpunished. The motherfucker got punished. So if he's out and he made a goddamn show, I'm tired of cancel culture. Fuck cancel culture. You know why?
Why?
Because cancel culture only affects the fucking black people. It don't affect no other fucking race. We only want to cancel each fucking other. That's all. Yo, until they start canceling other people, other races that does fucked up shit.
Right.
Fuck cancel culture.
Yeah.
Like we only get sensitive to us.
And it don't last long, because if that person that we supposedly cancel do something that we like, we back on them. We still ain't really officially cancel R. Kelly. Like, we still listen to his music.
And we ain't canceling R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna play his music. He did some fucked up shit. Okay, cool, got you. But I'm still playing him personally.
I still fuck off R. Kelly. I'm still pulling panties down with R. Kelly playing music in the fucking background, okay?
I'm like,
in the name of love at every barbecue. All the barbecues.
I'm just like,
right.
I'm stepping in the name of love. I'm sorry.
I'm like, like, first thing, with this cancel culture, I'm just, stop. You know what I'm saying? I don't like nobody telling me who to cancel. First thing, don't tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure y'all feel the same way. Don't tell me what, because you looking, when somebody try to tell you what to do, you looking for your mom. Like, is mama around somewhere? Where is she? Because that's the only person I know that can tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying?
If I bump and hit it hard from the back, what you gonna do?
I mean,
you stop me?
Look, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we should cancel R. Kelly because he was involved in it. I'm like, first thing, let me tell you something. We've been known R. Kelly was involved in it because the sex tape was out about like 1999. You know what I'm saying? It was on the stands of every hood in America. You know what I mean?
But I think with Jussie Smollett, his so-called canceling was more so because he's supposed to be part of the LGBT community, and he also called himself the ghetto Tupac. So his cancelization was a little bit different, but people
he just did some dumb shit.
Really messing with him.
Like, to me, he did some dumb shit. That's all I took it was. I'm just like, look, all right, listen. When Empire first started, like maybe the first season, because I think that's all I watched of it. The first season, maybe two.
One episode of it.
I was like, man, I think I watched the first season. But anyway, that was when the boy from New York Undercover was in that shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, I still wasn't going to cancel him because I was just like, oh, he just lied and did some dumb shit. Okay, so like, why should you, like, if you're a fan of his, why should you cancel him because he did some dumb shit? Everybody do dumb shit.
Got creative though. There was a news. There was 2 Nigerians buffed up. Yeah. There was Subway meeting at 2:00 in the morning in Chicago.
That's why his ass went to jail.
I'm like, listen,
he really went creative with that.
Like I said, don't tell me who to cancel. Look, listen. Anytime I go to my mom's crib, right? You know what I'm saying? I like, Mom, what you want to watch, right? And then she'll say, oh, Cosby Show on, right? You know what I mean? Because Cosby Show still comes on TV One. You know what I mean? I put the Cosby Show on for my mom. We still watch it. You know what I mean? So what? You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me who to cancel or whatever. First thing, I ain't even canceling nobody because I can separate, for real, the man from, for the work that he did. You know what I'm saying?
Now they got, hey, Mark, now they got a show about Bill Cosby, like knowing the real Bill Cosby or some shit like that. I don't know who produced it. But if I had to bet, I bet the motherfucker's black that produced it.
Yeah,
yes, I want to say it was a black woman.
You're exactly right.
And I think it's on Netflix. Netflix. You're
exactly right because I know somebody watched it, right? And then they tell me about like the black people were in it, and then what's really funny is like 3 or 4 of the black people they interview are from Philly, and I'm like, I'm like, oh man, well I'm not listening to him. He's a fraud anyway. I know him in real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? He a fraud anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, come on, man. They all like this is what they do though. They always get black people to tear other black people down. You know what I mean?
So I want to make a correction. It's called We Need to Talk About Cosby, and it was in January, and it's on Showtime.
It was full of shit.
It's a four-part docuseries
All I want to know is the producer black.
Yes. Yeah, the
Yes.
boy's black.
W. Kamau Bell. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I
he's
would say it was
yeah.
a female, black female, but maybe not. It might have been a black male. But
No,
either way,
that's a black guy. That's a black guy.
see, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
So we don't really cancel. We don't really cancel because if I'm happen to be flipping channels and a different world comes on, I'm watching it. If that scene night and day, I'm going to sing along with it. So we don't really cancel.
I was like, man, to me, I'm never gonna buy into it. I remember when they tried to cancel Kobe, I mean, for real, when he got the rape charge. I was just like, man, you know what I mean? Then the truth came out about that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of, not necessarily rape, but we are going to talk about somebody that we were supposed to have canceled over domestic violence. Chris Brown.
we not canceling them either.
Chris Brown was found congratulating Rihanna on the birth of her baby with ASAP Rocky, and the fans were not happy. After
This
what he
is stupid as fuck.
Past, I don't know if she's okay with receiving a congratulations from him.
This nigga can't say congratulations? Are you fucking like really?
Really?
This nigga could. It was no hating shit. He congratulated her and ASAP Rocky. He didn't just say congratulations, Rihanna. He mentioned both names. Congratulate ASAP Rocky and Rihanna on their birth. And niggas is mad. Like niggas is really feeling some kind of goddamn way.
More than Rihanna.
You know,
right.
Once again,
because Rihanna have said that they have seen each other and they have been in the same spaces since that incident, and they're not buddies, but they have been in a situation. They've done songs together after
the incident.
So
which means you have to be
cordial
to do that shit.
Rihanna does not care that he congratulated her. I'm sure she's probably saying thank you and keeping it moving. Nobody's really caring. I think people are just more mad than she is. I don't even think she's mad.
And I bet you majority of them motherfuckers that's feeling some kind of way are Negroes.
Black women. Of course. I guarantee you, it's black women that's in the mentions talking about why he got said that to her. He's on his business. Stay out of it. I really would like to just ask somebody. Like, why do you care?
Like, listen, angry black woman, why don't you choose better men to be with? How about that? You know what I'm saying? Before you go in on Chris Brown, why don't you, you got broke Chris Brown is beating your ass right now. Stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You would hope to get beat by somebody rich like Chris Brown. You got
how come he ain't rich? The guy beat my ass don't even got a job. Like, stop, please.
Well, you know what? I think that just like Murph said, cancel culture really only applies to us. But I think that I don't think we really cancel. I don't think we really cancel. I think that we just, for a certain amount of time, give that person some pow and don't support them, don't like them, but over time it diminishes and we go back because everybody's excited as hell about this Chris Brown and Lil Baby tour. So we not that mad at Chris Brown no more.
But here's my thing with cancel culture that's funny to me, right? When I look at, first you see the people who cancel, right? But then you see the people who's bringing up, the canceling and wanting to do the canceling, right? And I'm like, I don't know if y'all looked at these people, right? But I know y'all got to, if y'all did look at these people, hear from these, y'all got to think like, these are motherfuckers I would never hang out with. Like, I would never hang out with these people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, who wanted to cancel somebody, and then I looked at them and I just kind of read, maybe read a little bit into who they were. I'm like, I would never hang out with this person. Like, me and this person can't go get a drink. We can't go grab nothing to eat. We can't do nothing. They're corny. That's exactly what I think of. I'm like, you corny. You're not even
like what Mark said earlier. It's like what y'all said, it's clout chasing. Because look at Homeboy underneath Jake comments. Very clout chasing. They took their 15 minutes of fame and ran with it. Now we don't see or hear them at all. But when that nigga slid into his wife's DMs, it got real serious for them. And they was charging for promotions. They were putting out T-shirts. You talk about cloud chasing and taking your 15 minutes of fame. They did that,
and they literally only got 15 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, because the shit's over. But you know what? I'm okay with that kind of that was kind of harmless. That was kind of innocent.
It was funny.
You know what I'm saying? They took advantage of the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's more like banter. It was just some banter going back. You know, so that's to me, I can accept that. It's a little bit more acceptable. But that other shit that niggas be doing, and we either cancel. We either trying to cancel, or we just straight not supporting. Just straight not supporting.
I mean, and the thing is though, right? The more the more you mention somebody or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, we canceling them, but they're not canceled. I mean, shit, 6ix9ine isn't even canceled. You know what I'm saying? He's still running around out here. He'll make money. You know what I mean? You ain't cancel him. You know what I mean? He all right.
So let's stay in music for a second, because this was a really, really big debate, especially recently with Biggie's birthday coming. Diddy credits Jay-Z for filling Tupac and Notorious B.I.G.'s shoes after their sudden deaths. So recently was Biggie's birthday, and of course they had this big old dinner and big old celebration for him. And during this, Diddy credits Jay-Z for stepping in and being that guy after Tupac and Biggie was murdered. Jay-Z was like, I don't know if I could fill those shoes. We talk about Biggie and Pac, like, I don't know if I appreciate the compliment, but I can't say that I came in to fill those shoes. And Diddy goes, nah, you did that. You filled their shoes. Like, you was the guy after them. There was nobody else but you. And then this became a big discussion because, of course, people love to hate Jay-Z, or you either hate to love him. Like, everybody's thinking that Diddy just will not let Biggie die. He's going to ride Biggie's coattails to the very end. And then you have people who was, Tupac had a very cult following, and a lot of people were like, nah. You trying to say Jay-Z filled Tupac shoes? Like, nah. Maybe he stole Biggie shoes, but he didn't fill Tupac shoes. I see you smiling, Merv. What you think?
So I know Mark is about to go real deep on this shit. I know Mark about to peel the fucking onions back. So I'm gonna talk first, because when that nigga start talking about this particular topic, it might be a while before I could jump in that motherfucker and give an opinion. So I'm gonna fucking go first, because I know Mark is like licking the goddamn chops.
He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready, right? I see that motherfucker's goddamn like.
He's shifting in his seat. He's ready. Let me get in. Let me get him, Beck. Let me get him.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on.
It's cool.
I think I think everything that you said, Becca, sound like everybody had a different opinion depending on what angle they're coming from. The Biggie fans had their opinion. The Tupac fans had their opinion, and so I think both are right. Diddy, I think it was more Diddy's giving Jay-Z his flowers, which is rightfully so. And Diddy definitely is going to big up Biggie as long as Diddy alive, because if it's no Biggie, it's no Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just period. No Biggie, Diddy, and Bad Boy does not become what the fuck to become without Biggie.
So no Fat Mac, no Total, no Little Kim,
none of that.
None of them.
Nah. So hell yeah, he's gonna damn shout out Biggie until he dies. Rightfully so. I have no problem with that. Now the part we talking about is that he filled their shoes. Nah.
That's
maybe.
Stretch.
And maybe it's the words that he chose that's maybe I'm paying too much attention to the words when he said he filled Pac and Biggie's shoes after their sudden death. Like somebody said, Pac had a cult following. How Pac was, I don't see any other rapper. I don't see any other rapper. Is she doing her damn Gemini shit? I don't see any other rapper ever filling Tupac's shoes. And when I said when you say somebody filled somebody's shoes, in my opinion, you saying that they replaced them, that they damn near was a replica and got that same output, that same energy. Like, damn, you doing the same shit that motherfucker did. That's how you fill their shoes. Like, if somebody said, like, yo, you really filling your dad's shoes. Because probably my dad was head of the family. I became head of the family. My dad probably made everybody kin. My dad when they had a problem. Now everybody come to me when they had a problem. No, so I had the same. I'm having the same effect, the same result as my dad. So damn, you feeling your dad's shoes. Same thing you feeling your mom's shoes. You feeling your sister, brother. So when somebody say, yo, you really feel their shoes after they died or they going away, in my eyes, you saying that you replaced them and became almost like a replica, and you doing the same shit they did. You got just as big, same responsibility, same result. Jay-Z definitely didn't get that with Pac. He definitely do that with Pac. Yeah. And with Biggie, yo, you still got people calling Biggie the king of New York, the Frank Wright of New York. Now what I will say, musically, Jay-Z filled a gap, kept the music, the quality and the seniority and the he took over, he picked up the baton and he kept it fucking moving. He picked up the baton from Tupac and Biggie was running rap. He picked the baton and started running. He started running rap. So as far as that is concerned, yeah, he took over the rap game. So Diddy said, yo, after Big and Pac death, yo, you stepped up and you became the one in rap, musically, etc. But far as like filling shoes, and maybe I'm harping too much on the term filling shoes. Yeah. Maybe that's what Diddy meant as far as like becoming the one dominating at that time and running the rap game when he did. And I say this a lot. Motherfuckers don't like when I say this, but Jay-Z benefited the fucking most from Biggie and Pac dying. I'm a Jay-Z fan. So this is not coming from Sean. But I still feel that the death of Biggie and Pac allowed Jay-Z to, I don't think he reached this iconic level if Biggie and Pac doesn't die.
I can see what you mean.
I'm not saying
it eliminated his competition.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he still would have been a dope rapper because when they was alive, yo, I fuck with Reasonable Doubt. I listen to that shit real hard. So I'm not saying he wouldn't make money or he wouldn't have no one albums or he wouldn't be successful. But Jay-Z has become iconic in the fucking rap game. I don't think the iconic status would be as high, nowhere near as high if Biggie and Pac don't die. Because you still be looking at Pac, still looking at Biggie, and you're gonna look at Jay as he's still the little brothers trying to come outside.
Yes. Okay. Mark?
Well,
what you got?
I think Jay-Z is the one rapper that benefited from a lot of different things happening for him to get to the level that he is. You know what I'm saying? It started with the death of Biggie and Pac. His start of ascension started there, right? But Jay really didn't even. It really, if you look at his rise, right? first thing, he didn't jump right in and run the game. Like, it was a lot of people around, when Biggie and Pac died. Nas is around,
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes, DMX, Snoop. It's a lot of guys around. But one thing, I'll give credit to Jay-Z for. I'll give him this credit. He never, like some other rappers, his peers, had peaks and valleys where they were hot, then they come down a little bit. They might have made an album that was a little bit of a dud, then they come back with some hot shit. Jay kind of steadily climbed. Like, you know what I mean? Jay ain't really have no down year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's that team, that always makes the playoffs. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they win the championship, but I mean, he always makes the playoffs. Even as an 8 seed. When you look at all the Jay-Z albums, right? I mean, it's not a lot of people is going to say, "Yo, man, that album was terrible." You're not really going to get that from a lot of people. A lot of people going to think his shit was all right or better. And I mean, now all his other peers, I'm like, yo, it's some real duds in there. Like, yo, it ain't no hot single. It ain't no hot music on there. The shit
Keep
was
that up,
hot.
Becca.
That's it. So I think Jay-Z over time was able to kind of reach the icon status, you know what I'm saying? Not more so than Biggie or Pop, but it's almost like he finally got to climb on and be on the same mountain as them. You know what I mean? Be in the same arena as them. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like Jay-Z did good shit for a while, but this is when, when Jay-Z really started hitting that icon thing? When people started referring to themselves as the Jay-Z of this or the Jay-Z of that. You remember when they said it about T.I.? T.I.'s the Jay-Z of the South. You know what I'm saying? That's when they started, you know what I mean? For where you're looking at Jay like, man, Jay's kind of at icon level because they're calling other hot artists, they're relating them to Jay-Z. And now if you look today, you know what I mean? Lil Durk, you know what I mean? They say Lil Durk is the Jay-Z of Chicago. Like, you know what I mean? That's much respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Jay-Z of drill music, right?
Because it's basically, it's not saying they're the same guy, but it's saying the influence that they have over the cities that they're in, you know what I mean, is like Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? The influence Jay-Z has on New York is the same influence that T.I. had on Atlanta. It's the same influence that Durk has on Chicago now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is kind of an iconic statement. But I mean, it took him a while to get there. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give Jay-Z credit. It was a steady climb, and he kept going upwards. Where you look at his peers, right? You know what I mean? Nas, it was peaks and valleys, and I love Nas, right? And now it's like, yo, Nas is hitting a nice stream as he is right now, but he had some years where it's like, I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? Busta had years where I'm not feeling that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For real, DMX had years where I'm not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z never really had a year where it's like, I'm not feeling the bull.
Yeah.
So Trey comments, he says, I don't think Jay-Z benefited more than the entire Southern rap movement. Eminem benefits from Murder Inc. trying to create a Tupac clone.
And play the next. Hold on, show the next.
And then he says Jay-Z got New York loyal because of the power vacuum Biggie's absence created. So as a New Yorker, I can say that when during that time, you definitely was a Biggie and Jay-Z fan. Like it wasn't a situation where you chose one or the other. You definitely was a fan of both. And Biggie's death hit Brooklyn particularly very hard. Yeah. Like everybody felt like Biggie was their cousin that they loved to see every family reunion, right? He was the one. And you could see that he was growing and didn't really want to be part of any beef or any type of anything going on in the rap game. He wanted to get his friend Tupac back. He felt a way about him being dead. He felt a way about just the way rap was, and you could see that. So Biggie felt like everybody's favorite cousin, right? But when he died, there was a hole. there was a hole left in the music business, especially in Bad Boy, especially in New York rap. So Jay-Z definitely slid into that spot to
But he
fill the
didn't. But
hole. Just like,
he didn't fill the spot by
well,
himself.
not to take Biggie's spot, but
Well,
like
no,
it's
he's talking about. Well, Trey not talking about filling this. Trey not talking about replacing Biggie. If you read this comment, he said he talking about New York, the loyalty of New York, and I kind of agree with him with this because Biggie, both of them from Brooklyn. So, when Biggie was peaking, Biggie shot out Brooklyn all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Every Biggie, if a motherfucker get like $100 every time Biggie shot out Brooklyn, motherfucker's a millionaire. I'm just saying that motherfucker rep Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
Brooklyn.
when he died, it was a gap, not just music, but the city of Brooklyn, because like Brooklyn was more on the map.
Which is why it made sense to now have Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay.
So he definitely
he's gonna maintain Brooklyn.
I mean,
he's gonna maintain the Brooklyn aura.
Yeah. Yes.
Not even just rap. Not even just rap, but people know about Brooklyn that's never been in New York. Never in New York because of Biggie. And then now Jay-Z came and carrying the torch. So I actually kind of agree with the statement that Trey just made.
And also, you got to understand Jay, he's going to identify kind of what's next, and he's going to be able to ride that wave because it was just like, and Sean, he would tell you this if he was on you, but you know what I'm saying? He was able to catch the next wave very frequently, right? So it's like, all right, so no more Biggie, no more Pac, right? I did Reasonable Doubt. That was good. My next album was okay. You know what I mean? People, rock with it. Some people didn't, but more people did. You know what I mean? And then boom, he was like, well, what's the next thing I'm going to catch, right? And then boom, you know what I'm saying? He links up with the guys in Philly. And then all of a sudden, another wave is created. You know what I'm saying? When he caught that State Property crew, then he was able to reinvent. We gonna push it. You know what I'm saying? So now you got another dynamic going on. You know what I'm saying? That Jay caught, right? And then when he was done with that wave, it was changed clothes.
Hey, Mark, let me interrupt you.
Leo. Okay.
Hey,
Leo,
Mark,
Jay.
I need you. Hey, Mark, read this so we can respond to this. Yeah, okay.
Jay didn't take anything. Mace took Biggie's lane. Jay ain't get that spot till Mace was ran out of New York.
I don't know. Mace had it for a little bit, but he didn't really have it that long. He had it for the first album. That second album, he was pretty much already over. And I'm like, man, Mace ain't. If Mace had the lane, which I do not think so, because I think to be honest with you, New York, it was like it was almost like a you know how like Mafia has 5 families? Yeah. I think with New York, they shared it. Because Nas had a piece.
Yeah.
Well, DMX had a piece.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay had a piece. Busta was still doing his thing.
Yeah.
So, you had the Wu, for some of them guys was doing their thing. So it wasn't one person, that had it. But I think what Jay did though, Jay outlasted a lot of those guys, and still was able to put out quality projects.
But
so,
let me also respond to let me also respond to
man, nobody feeling that double up joint like that. What's that second album?
It's called Double Up
Platinum. People weren't playing that shit like that.
But it's still sold, Mark. It's still sold.
Everybody was selling in. Everybody was selling in.
Everybody was selling in. But he does have both of y'all have a point, right? When you said after Big and Pac death, it's almost like the two head of the families is gone. So now it became a bunch of smaller families from each one. And Mace, before Mace Harlem World,
Yeah.
And during that time, Mace became Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Bad Boy was
I
on.
can
You
imagine.
see Diddy and Mace in the streets like you used to see Diddy and Biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Mace
was
was
twinsies.
carrying Bad Boy. So what he said is actually
But
correct.
that run wasn't that
Now,
long. That's all I'm saying. It
yeah,
really
that's what
wasn't.
I'm saying. The only thing is, Mace fucked the wrong girl. He fucked the wrong nigga girl. From my understanding, is what happened. He fucked the wrong nigga girl, and he had to get the fuck out of New York. He made Double Up. He made what I heard. He made Double Up kind of rush so he could give his what he owed to Puffy to try to get the fuck out. And that's why if you go back and listen to Double Up, it's almost like a JV version. It's like a junior version of Harlem World. There's a lot of songs that have the same concept, but look like he rushed it just to put something together to give this Puff so he could get the fuck out of New York.
Yeah.
But
Well, like I said, though, you know what I mean? Like I said, though, it was just like, yo, a lot of people had their hands on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, you know, like DMX, you know what I mean? For he have his hands on hip hop. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You telling me Mace was, you know what I mean, for real, was pop more than X? The fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Nah. You know what I mean? Nah.
Well, what
just
I think what Leo is saying is that
Mark,
Mace had his time.
Yeah, you add
no, but what I'm saying is that, yo, New York, you know what I mean? For like, yo, man, there was a lot of people moving around then. You know what I mean? Mace ain't running.
No, but that shiny suit era was a time to be alive. I remember that shiny suit era.
He had
that
a piece.
was a time to be alive.
Yo, he had a piece, man. But shoot, they were slicing that cake up. He had a piece. You know.
But Mace dropping Harlem World dropping 97, right? I believe it dropped in 97.
Is that 97?
What song?
Yeah, I believe Harlem World dropped in 97.
And X dropped in 98.
So for about a year and a half, Mace was carrying Bad Boy, and Mace was at one point that nigga in New York. That's all I was saying.
I'm not saying that he ain't have it. I'm just saying he ain't have it that long. Like that was like yo, as soon as you
but you say the same thing. He said until Mace got ran out of New York.
He got ran out of New York quickly. He got ran out quickly. That's all I'm saying. Like
about a year. He ran a year and a half. It was all about Mace because he brought on Cameron. He vouched for Cameron. Like he bringing other people on at that time. If Mace don't fuck the wrong girl, don't fuck the wrong nigga girl, get in trouble with that dope dealer. The Mace hip hop story would have been totally different.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's true. Just like man, you know what I'm saying?
It sounds like it's saying that after Biggie died, the next one it was supposed to be was Mace, but Mace made a wrong move and had to get the hell out of Dodge, and then Biggie came.
Like I said, that wrong move came quick. You know what I mean? Because a year later he was out.
Mark, hold it real quick. You keep arguing the same thing that he already said. Listen to his point. What he said is, because we were saying Jay-Z was next. All he said is Mace was actually the next hip hop nigga in New York until he got ran out. That's all he said. He's not talking. He already said it was short, but he's saying Mace was the next hip hop nigga after Biggie and Pac died until he ran out of New York. Do you disagree with that?
I think even if Mace was around, man, X would have had him. Because X first 3 albums was like shit, legendary. You know what I mean?
But Mace was before DMX. But Mace was before DMX.
No, but what I'm saying is, right, listen, even if Mace ain't make that wrong move, when X dropped in 98, right? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Mace would that shiny suit shit would have been over anyway. That would have been out of there. That'd have been out of there.
So so check it. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. Mace don't make that wrong move.
Right.
Mace don't have to leave. Mace don't have to leave New York
Right.
Mace don't have to make a rush album because he rushed Double Up to try to because he owed Diddy. So he's like, damn, I got her Treasure's album so I can get the fuck out. If Mace don't have to get the fuck out of New York, Mace takes his time with the production, with the songs, the quality of the songs, etc. Double Up is a whole different album if this nigga don't gotta be nervous in New York. So if he drop another Harlem World type album, DMX will still come and come in the game, but it'll be Mace and DMX. You know,
but here's what I think.
DMX.
I think it was a shift though, because I think it was just like, yo, we done heard the shiny suit shit. We want some gritty shit. You know what I mean? And X came at that time.
It was sickening. That No Way Out album is sickening. Even I think that joint loud.
I was like, man.
That No Way Out album is and Victory. Them albums.
Like, and here's another thing. If it wasn't for X, even when you look at the lane that Jay moved to next, you know what I'm saying? That Philly lane wouldn't have got popping the way that it did if it wasn't for X, you know what I mean, for real, actually moving in, coming with that gritty shit. So Jay was like, man, I gotta jump on that. And then he found a new way.
Trey. Come on, Trey. That's bullshit, Trey.
I don't want to give Mace no props.
That's bullshit, Trey. That's bullshit, Trey. That's bullshit. And when I say that's bullshit, that's not me saying that Missy wasn't getting her numbers and wasn't being successful. But in 97, Mace was all over everything. The Harlem World sold like a motherfucker. Harlem World had a bunch of goddamn singles out. I'm responding to Trey. Harlem World dropped. Harlem World sold a bunch. Harlem World had a bunch of goddamn singles. And Mace was featured on a bunch of different shit that motherfucker was rocking. Mace was on 112. He was on Toto. He was on Cameron shit. Like, let's give Mace his props. Granted, it was short. I get that. But that fucking year, 97, it was all about fucking Mace. So Trey, come on, man.
Missy
Elliott was not hitting harder than
one year. I got you.
I'm looking at Leo now. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, just like I'm a huge Biggie fan. But if Big did not die, Mace did not leave, and Bad Boy runs the game. Let's just say if Biggie was still alive,
mm-hmm.
Mace didn't have to leave New York. We got Biggie and Mace, right?
Yeah, but then Mace will
Jay-Z ever come to be who he was at that time? Will they have been? Will Jay-Z? Will he have been able to squeeze through the Biggie and the Mace to get some shine, or no?
I don't know. That'd have been tough.
I don't think
that'd have been tough for him.
He'd been sharing. He would have.
Yeah, that'd have been tough for him.
He'd been sharing.
Because at that point, then you would have had X, Locks, Lil C's. Like then you would have definitely had. It would have been. And I hate to say it, but maybe there might not have been room for Jay-Z if Bad Boy was really, because Bad Boy was on its way to the tip. They was already to the tippity top. Big's death shut all of that down. It made everybody drop and roll.
You know what? I never thought about this scenario until Leonardo just said. I never thought about Biggie don't die and Mace stays. Because here's the other thing. If Biggie don't die,
Mace don't become Mace either.
No, what are you talking about? No, Harlem World still dropping. Harlem World's already.
If Biggie don't die, right, them projects would have dropped, but Mace wouldn't have been the star that he was if Biggie was still around. No way he would have.
The star, okay, the star, no, but he would still have been. He still would have been just as impactful amongst Bad Boy, helping Bad Boy control things. If Biggie don't die, Mace there. And here's the other thing: if Biggie don't die, guess who don't fucking leave?
Mace,
The Locks.
the locks.
And the
And
locks
Biggie-
don't become the locks. Think about it. Locks don't become the locks if they stay with Bad Boy. That wouldn't have never the locks as we know them today. You would have never got that. Not from under Puff.
Well, the Locks has
As we know
No, I
them today,
disagree with
we
that
wouldn't have
because-
got them. Did you hear the Locks
Biggie-
first? I have the Locks first album on my mama career. I can send it to you if you need me to. They're not the same as Rough Rider Locks. It ain't even the same. They ain't even close.
I
love
think
New York talk. Keep it going.
I still think they blossom with Biggie. Because I still think they would have had. I still think they blossom because Biggie had is the one. Biggie to me is the one
I think Biggie
motherfucker.
started his own record label.
Biggie's the one motherfucker that had the ability to probably influence Puffy more than Puffy influenced him. And the Locks and Biggie was tight. I think Biggie's like, yo, Puff, we gotta give the Locks another kind of lane. And I think Puff would have fucking listened.
I think just to go back to this comment about if Big would still be on Bad Boy, I think at some point Biggie would have started his own record label.
That's what he was about to do.
I think
That's what
he
he
would
was
have
about to
started his
do.
own record label, and it would have been.
Because he was trying to get Junior
But
Mafia out there.
if we know Puffy's history, right? Him and Mace was beefing. Like they was super cool. They was about to run Bad Boy, and then him and Mace started beefing. So do you think that if Biggie became as big as we had all wanted him to be, and he started his own label, do you think that at some point Puffy and Biggie would have been beefing?
Maybe. You know what I mean?
That's a good
Anything's
fucking
possible.
question. Because all right, I agree with that. Biggie, I don't think Biggie would have left Bad Boy, but you know how they have the subtleties where Biggie would start a label under just like Junior Mafia. Just like
Yeah.
Junior Mafia.
He already
What
set
was it
that
called? What was it called with Junior Mafia? Because he kind of had almost like a mini label with them. So
Let me
if Biggie lives, I don't think he leaves Bad Boy. It's kind of like 50 Cent is still under Eminem, but he had G Unit.
Yeah.
So he had his own shit, but he was still under G Unit. So I think it would have been like that.
Yeah.
It was
you know
Junior
what I mean?
Mafia. And I think the Locks would have left Bad Boy, would start fucking with Puffy, and went under Biggie shit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know I'm in the Googles, right? And so Leo says he already had an Undies record. So I looked up Undies recording label. So this is what has come out so far under Undies. Little Kim and Cisco, How Many Licks? Little Kim, No Matter What They Say. Junior Mafia, Conspiracy. Little Kim, Hardcore. Lil C's The Wonderful World of Caesar Leo. Little Kim's Notorious K.I.M. Lil C's Play Around. Lil Kim and Puffy, No Time.
Oh, so that's all under Undies?
I'm looking at it right now. Little Kim and Little C's is all up
Yeah.
and through Undies. The Wonderful
Like-
World of Caesar Leo. Little Kim's Hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
Now, Biggie would have brought a
Junior
lot.
Mafia, get them. I'm looking at all of
Yeah,
these.
Biggie would have brought a lot more to that
Damn.
situation. He would have brought a lot more to that situation. That's a guarantee.
And
You know
I
what I'm saying?
guarantee you, at some point, Puffy would have seen Biggie as his competition.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you know, that happens. You know what I'm
So
saying? Think about it.
Biggie dying left room for a lot of other shit to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. A
with
lot of
Biggie,
people benefit-
with
a
Biggie
lot of
dying,
people
it's
benefited
like
from him.
a lot of things, you know, went a different way. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know, how it helped Jay-Z. How it helped Jay-Z, I think, is that, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z always kept that steady climb. And I think everybody, all his other peers, they were up and they were down. You know what I'm saying? And he always kind of ascended. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, he's like one of these guys. He would have got to the top one way or another. It just didn't come like immediately. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
So Biggie was a a staple because his death or him staying alive would have to be ultimately changed New York hip hop. It would have changed New York hip hop.
Yeah,
if he had stayed alive.
Well, it already changed. Hold up. When you say change, you mean from what it is today?
Meaning that a lot of things that had to shift because he passed.
I gotcha. A lot of the hip hop, the New York hip hop that we've seen after Biggie's death, probably would have been totally different.
Yes.
If he didn't.
If he was still alive.
Leonardo said, if you remember, no one was Jack and Jock and Reasonable Doubt when it first came out because it was Jack and Biggie whole style already.
Yeah, but
I will.
But I'm just saying that was known, but I'm just saying still it took Jay-Z, it still took him a while to get to where he got to. Like, he didn't jump right in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just didn't have it back then to jump right in. Like, over time, you know what I'm saying? He got it, but it just took him a while. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Leo was saying, that it took Jay-Z a minute to.
Yeah. But Jay-Z, I mean, for one thing about him that was smart, he always knew what wave to jump on. And he was usually right when he jumped on the wave. And he was able to ride each wave, you know what I mean, to the top. I'm like, you got to give credit where credit is due. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was able to do that.
So I got a question for Leonardo. And Mark, if you got a different answer than what you just said. So Leonardo, what music situation helped Jay-Z iconic status the most? Leonardo, what hip hop situation helped Jay-Z become iconic the most?
Shoot, Kanye.
Right. Biggie wore a crown because he was the king of New York. Absolute truth. Jay-Z got where he was because Biggie wasn't there. He's an opportunist.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, Trey, that's
we all know that. You know what I mean? That's
I felt that.
Jay's opportunist. You know what I mean? All that.
There's a lot of Jay-Z slander going on right now. I'm not sure how.
But I mean, you got to call it what it is. But I still think, I mean, he consistently has been good over time, more than maybe any other artist. Like, over all these years, consistently, he's still good. Like, a lot of artists can't say that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the answer to your question, Merv.
Okay.
I think that's what it sounds like.
So it says consistency.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because even the albums, you know, that especially people who are, you know what I'm saying, you know, like they really, you know what I mean, they really listen to Jay, right? You know what I'm saying? Even the albums that you're critical of, right? You still find music within those albums like, well, that was the shit, though. I might not like, you know what I mean? Like, let me think. What's the dud album from Jay-Z? Kingdom Come? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But it's still songs on Kingdom Come that you like. See what I'm saying?
So one thing about Jay-Z albums, even his albums that's considered trash, just like you said, Mark, he will have about 2 or 3 game-changing singles. The album might be trash, but you'll have 2 or 3 singles that's really fucked up the game. But the rest of the songs will be trash, but you have 2 singles that change, like 30's the new 20. I think that's on Kingdom Come.
Yeah. See?
Well, people trash American Gangster.
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy.
They did not like that album at all.
But I feel like Blueprint was the album that put Jay-Z on the way to iconic status. Not Volume 2, not Volume 3. I think I felt like Jay-Z was just considered a dope hip hop artist until Blueprint.
Man.
And it's like when niggas heard Blueprint, it's like when niggas like, God damn, Jay-Z, tell them how the fuck you feel, where the fuck this come from. And it's like after Blueprint, that nigga became a hip hop martyr.
I'm gonna tell, to me, Jay-Z reached iconic status, right? When he told niggas to take off jerseys and wear button-ups and niggas did it. Like, That's
clothes.
iconic.
Nah, he was al-
You know what
no,
I'm
but
saying?
he was already had that status by then. Or niggas wouldn't have listened to
No,
him.
but no.
Blueprint,
What I'm saying
Blueprint
is
put him in that status.
no. But what I'm saying is though, before that Change Clothes song came out, right? He
Yes,
was
Tay Son,
already getting
my
niggas to
favorite
do that.
album.
Niggas really was doing it. Niggas was like, yo, let me take off the throwback and put on the button up. You know what I mean? Niggas really was doing that though. Like, that's great. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is very true.
You know, so
I
I was
like
just like, man, you know, I mean,
But my
Jay-Z,
favorite J album is on top the Black album. Then after that, 444. That's mine. But that Black album, everybody, when that Black album came out, to me, I knew he wasn't gonna retire. I knew he was gonna come back eventually because he's Jay-Z. But that Black album is sick.
I was like, man,
That Black album is sick.
Jay-Z
It's
was
one of my
able to get
favorite
all the
Jay-Z
lanes together, man. He got all the lanes together,
Yeah,
and
man.
he was able to do
And
his thing.
it wasn't just that. I think it was the rollout. Like, okay, he's retiring. This is his last album. The Black album was just that with the hat. It was just everything about the promotion of that. It was just crazy. That album was the bomb. So whose style did he jack, Leo? Was it Biggie's style? Who else
No,
style did he jack? Mace?
No, he always takes pieces from everybody. That's Jay-Z.
I don't know.
But
how
Jay-Z
much
takes, no,
Jay-Z.
He
listen.
has changed up his style several
No,
times.
he takes
his
pieces from
career.
everybody. I'm just like, man, you know what I'm saying? And then Jay-Z,
Damn.
he's such a slick talker. He'll convince you to do some shit that
Jack
y'all
up,
mean you don't
okay.
even think is right, but Jay-Z saying it so it sound right.
Mhm.
Think about it, man. I like, man, Jay-Z, y'all mean for it took like when he got with State Prop, he took his flow from Young Chris, like from the Young Guns. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all mean for wrote that street wave with Beans in them. I'm like that, you know. I'm like, look, it really happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm like, Jay always take pieces here and there and then make it his own. Like, but that's like, yo, if like that's like if me and you were baking a cake, we're baking the same cake, and then you be like, yo, Becca, like, all right, but yo, I'm gonna throw a little of this blueberry mix up in here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw a little of that in here. I'm gonna throw a little of this in here. You know, it is what it is.
Explain that to me, Leo.
That nigga said Usher? I think he's just playing. I think that's now you trolling. You trolling, right?
He stole everybody's style.
Damn.
It's a lot of Jay-Z slander going on. I don't know about
That's
this.
you. I like that.
Okay.
I like Jay.
Oh, you talking about the jeans and button up?
Jay.
This nigga talking about Jay-Z clothing choice now. Damn.
He said
that
you
nigga say so Usher.
Jay still all right with me though.
And he said Jay-Z stole Usher style. His fashion style.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Jay still all right.
Hey, Leonardo, who's your favorite rapper, man? Like, yo, no, for real. Give me who's your favorite rapper, and can you give us your top 5 rappers?
Oh my God, Leo, I can't believe this. All the slander was a new
that
nigga.
Nigga Jay was a whole new nigga every 2 years. Damn.
This is a lot of Jay-Z slander going on right now.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Hove gave the West Coast Still Dre as well. That is a West Coast anthem.
Facts.
Nas, Kiss, Prodigy. So Jay don't have no original flow, no original swag of his own. Everything.
No. Beck, he answered my question. Ask him who's the favorite rappers.
Oh, okay. Nas, Kiss, Prodigy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to know who's favorite rappers and who's the top rappers that he liked. That was answering my question.
They ain't got no original swag, nothing. Everything was stolen. Because that's how Leo's making it seem. Jay-Z was just a carbon copy of whoever was hot at the moment.
Listen, what makes Jay-Z great though, just like he told Nas, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is great. He don't try to reinvent the wheel, but he will enhance that motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that will make that nigga great. That would make that nigga great. Like he
finds the lane.
Cam Knox on that shit, yo. That's what make that nigga great.
Damn.
That was what was the lie?
Hey man,
So
listen.
his longevity after all these years, right? Is he still Jack in style? Like, can we say that he has his own identity now, or no?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, but guess what though? You know what I'm saying? I like Jay's annoying protege does a lot of the same things. Of course, I'm talking about Drake. He does a lot of Jay-Z shit, and that's why he's on top.
You talk about Aubrey?
Yeah, he does
wow.
Jay-Z shit, and that's why he's on top.
Who's he said it's still Basquiat?
Basquiat. It's Basquiat, I believe is how
Who's that? The artist?
Yeah, Basquiat is a painter. I want to say he was an artist, but he was a painter. And if you look at the way Basquiat wore his hair, that's how Jay-Z wears his hair now. Exact same way, the big ass locks. Just yeah. So his his whole life. Oh my god.
God
damn. This part I don't know nothing about. I don't know nothing. I just hear him mentioning the song Basquiat. I hear a few songs. Like I heard it.
Well, I hope he don't do everything Basquiat did, because he died of an overdose. So I hope he don't do that. But yeah, I'm gonna so let me just so that y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me pull up a picture of Basquiat. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone because I can't get to the
and Leonardo said show him a pic. Yeah, let me see this shit, yo.
So this is how Basquiat looks.
Oh wow.
He was only 27. He died of an overdose.
When did he die?
He died in 88.
Okay, I was just wondering where he got the inspiration from. That's all.
Basquiat.
Okay.
And Jay-Z buys a lot of his paintings and just sits on them because they are worth a lot of money. They cost a lot of money. They are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, but art always resells for like more. Like if you acquire art.
But his art is very eclectic. Like look at his art. It's very weird.
Like I've heard Jay say his name before, but I never knew who the fuck it was or what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just safe to say that Leo don't like Jay-Z. Let's just
yeah, he's not a fan.
He's not a fan. Sean would be proud. Sean is
not a fan.
Well, we'll just leave it there.
He's right.
Not a fan. That is funny.
Yo.
Y'all went in on this topic, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Beck, it don't need to pull up them other shits, yo.
No, yeah. I think we just gonna end with the Jay-Z slander.
Yeah, we're gonna end right there.
Yeah.
JR with me, he put Philly in the game. Fuck that. JR with me.
So then let's go back to it. Did he fill his shoes or not? Did Jay-Z fill Biggie's shoes or not?
Over time. Not immediately. It took him a while. But over time.
You feel Biggie's shoes?
Over time.
No, I'm asking Mark. When he said over time, he filled both their shoes?
I think over time he got to their level. Over time.
To their level. But they fill their shoes?
No, Biggie's my favorite rapper all time. So
Biggie
of course the answer is no. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even by Jay-Z. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. And no.
It's still no, but
Biggie,
I think I
could different artists. Now that's a whole nother question right there about Jay-Z filling Pac shoes, because that is true. Pac
they in two different lanes, two different styles, two different everything. Like, Pac, for real, he's over here somewhere. He does his own. He always did his own thing. Like,
so then who is, according to Leo, who is an eligible shoe filler for Pac?
For Pac, yeah.
None.
That would be interesting.
That's a hard one.
None. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
You know what I mean? Because who came along? You know what I'm saying? Who does the same shit as Pac. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah, I
Pac
don't think
did a lot of
anybody.
shit.
At one point, when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, I thought it was gonna be 50 when that album dropped.
Really?
I don't even think it's him. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, Pac had like this. Pac had like an iconic style though. Because I'm like, I mean, he was a rapper. You know what I mean? For real, then he was a poet. You know what I mean? For the ladies loved him. He was in movies and shit. So he had like this. He had like this movie star appeal as a hardcore rapper.
Mark, like, and that's the same thing I'm looking at too, Mark. That's that. So, like when he said, when you ask who could fill Tupac shoes, I'm not really talking about. I'm not putting the music in the vacuum. I'm talking about his results. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if somebody gonna fill his shoes, what rapper has a fucking national following outside of just music? What rapper
can Trey think it's Eminem? From what this sounds like, he's saying that Pac had the West, and then Pac died, and Eminem came and took over the West. And Leo was saying just music.
Oh, Leo just saying music. Why?
Besides music, nobody.
Okay, just music. Okay, all right, just music.
But do y'all think that Eminem filled Pac's shoes
musically?
If you talking about white people, yes. No, I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm an Eminem fan. Like, Eminem is in my top 5 of all time MCs. So I'm an Eminem fan. But if you talking about white people, definitely. Like the way white people like Eminem that like hip hop, I feel like the same way black people look at pop. But overall musically,
Murder Inc. is bankrupt because of who?
Because of Eminem.
Murder Inc. is bankrupt because of 50 Cent.
Yeah, because of 50.
Because of 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ain't nobody fit through that lane.
I mean, the only thing I'm saying with Pac is like you can see like Pac's influence in other rappers, but not in all areas, right?
I've never heard nobody say such and such is the new Tupac. I've never heard nobody say that.
It's nobody who's the new Tupac, because you have to be a lot of different things to be that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just and how, from either the music to the controversy or whatever, you can see Pac in a lot of different other rappers.
The tattoos, like before Pac, you not seeing Thug Life and all, and the cross and all this tattoos.
I mean, man,
on the chest and shit.
If you just go from the controversy, I mean, for real shit, you can see the baby, if Tupac in the baby, like, you know what I mean, just on the controversy.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's one of his favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You can see that easy. And Pac died how many years ago? You know what I'm saying?
Trey. Eminem did not destroy Ja. 50. You right about a lot of shit, but you're wrong about this. 50 Cent destroyed Ja. Why you keep saying Eminem? It was.
I don't even know if it had anything really even to do with it. Eminem just chimed in from time to time.
Yeah, it was 50 Cent, Trey.
That is true.
Eminem destroyed Benzina.
Yeah. And this is so fucking correct what Leonardo said. Pac understood the business aspect before it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
he schooled Biggie on the aspect of it.
Yeah.
On the business aspect.
He was the first one from the West that was really talking what Nipsey was talking. Like, he was the one that was really trying to school people on.
You know what? It's Pac and Nipsey. It's some Pac and Nipsey. That was in Nipsey.
Nipsey. If Nipsey didn't die, Nipsey probably the only one I could have seen that could have been Tupac? That could have possibly get in Tupac lane.
I think he would have gotten one of his lanes. That's it. Not all of them, just one. You know what I mean? For much like the other guys. It'd have been one. That was it.
That is truly. Pac really brought it to your face, though. I will say that Pac was not.
I mean, because Pac was so many different
Pac was
things.
not
It's
for
like
no bullshit.
it's
None
a lot of
whatsoever.
different rappers then that, you know what I mean, for they might have got pieces of. You know what I'm saying? But it was no rapper that could just step in like that. They just got pieces of them. That's it.
Yeah, because I've never heard anybody be called the new Tupac.
No.
Nah.
I mean,
Besides
nah.
Even a young rap nigga like NBA YoungBoy, you even see Tupac in him.
Yeah, but
What about
you
Pop
know,
Smoke?
shit, man. That I mean, I would say like this, man. You know, with that guy, if that guy didn't pass, he would have had a hell of an impact. But he passed. You know what I'm saying? But
So Lisa Evers for us New Yorkers, Lisa Evers. Lisa Evers goes way back to 1997. She has a new show on Fox Soul where she dives into the murders of celebrities, and her last episode she did was about Pop Smoke, and I didn't even realize all the details about his death. Like he got pistol whipped and was stripped before he was shot, and he was in the shower. He was so concerned about like certain things that he was showered with his chains on. So he was in the shower with his chains on and the person that shot him was only 15.
yeah,
So because of his age, he may or may not do hard time because he was only 15. 15
I'm
and 17.
you, I'm gonna say
So
like this to me.
Hey, Becca, didn't the murderer walk past Pop Smoke friends downstairs?
Yeah, from my understanding, yes.
He walked past people and they just let this nigga go upstairs and murder Pop Smoke, and they didn't do shit.
That was a plan. What they try to make it out to seem that it was random, but it wasn't. It wasn't random though.
It wasn't random, no, because the people this is the beginning of the conversation about social media playing a part in some of these celebrities' death, because Pop Smoke, his location, Pop Smoke went and did a lot on social media. He was on social media all the time, and they believe that the killers found out where Pop Smoke was from his social media. So that's how they knew it wasn't he was being looked for. And from what Lisa Evers discovered was that the person was asking him for his chains, and he was going to give them his chains. Like he was at first it looked like he was about to be robbed, but then he ended up getting shot, and he was in the shower with his chains on. Crazy.
But wasn't his girl in the bedroom too?
That part I'm not sure of.
There was other people in the house, and only Pop Smoke got shot.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, this is what I heard though. You know what I mean? For they said they said, you know what I mean, for that like a call came in from back home. You know what I'm saying? You know about that.
So what she said was that people, like they interview people around them, and they were saying that Pop really wanted to come out of that life in Brooklyn. He was in Canarsie. He really wanted to come out of it. So he went to LA to kind of further his music career and come and be removed from the streets. But the streets found him in Cali and killed him.
Yeah, but he was
only 20. I think he was only 20.
I mean, but that's that's how that shit goes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you look at some of the rappers now, yeah, you can see Pac and Nipsey. Yeah, you can kind of see it in Pop Smoke maybe. Other than that, you're right. I don't see anybody.
No, not one person that
from a Tupac death like
checks all the boxes. No, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, a lot of them have taken something from Pop. Because I'm like, even the guys today, still, they still talk about Pop with a reverence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So that they took something from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it might be, they took something from his aura or something from him. You know what I mean? And they use it in what they're doing. Yeah.
I think the main thing with Tupac was that he was a very likable hood nigga. He was
Yeah.
a very likable hood nigga, like Nipsey. He was in the gangs, but was very, very likable.
And and a hood intelligent nigga.
Yes,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
was trying to do right by the people he came up around, and it didn't work out
But
for him.
you got caught in the gang shit, and I'm just like, man, once you cross over that line, ain't no going to be no crossing back.
Mm,
You know what I mean? You can't just So I was like, like, yeah, I mean, y'all know how the story go. You know what I mean?
yes,
For
Leo, that's very true.
he raised his hand against the OG Crip. You know,
Pac,
it is what it is.
he's talking about
You know,
Pac.
it's crazy that it's still crazy that two of the most famous hip hop, not even rappers, two of the most famous hip hop people in history, fucking murders unsolved, nobody arrested. That's
Yeah,
fucking
well,
crazy. And both
put like
both
this.
was in
They solved
both in
it,
the West Coast.
but nobody got arrested for it.
Yeah, because
They solved it.
Faith and Biggie's mom have still been investigating Biggie's death, and they believe they know who it is, but LAPD won't go after them.
Man, it's a lot of different stories, but I'm like, they found out like the right story, but it's just like,
LAPD won't touch it at all.
we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We good. You know what I mean? Shoot, and that's why, for it's just like, yo, just cash them out. So, for they can leave it alone. And they cashed, Biggie Mom and Faith out. They cashed them out. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all can, and the same with Tupac Mom, cashed her out. All right, now we can go ahead with this, but we ain't touching it.
Yo,
Damn.
if you're East Coast nigga, East Coast rapper, you don't need to spend too much time in Cali. And Tupac is East Coast. I mean, he blew up and became established, all that, and it became iconic in the West Coast. But
Yeah.
Tupac is East Coast.
Well,
Tupac,
that's
Biggie, and Pop Smoke, all three killed in goddamn Cali. Well, West Coast.
Well,
yeah,
that's the reason why Snoop was making it such a big thing about him and Puffy coming together. Because if you watch Snoop on Drink Champs, he was saying like, listen, neither one of us had anything to do because they're blaming Biggie's death on Pac. They on Biggie. They are blaming Pac's death on Suge and Death Row and everybody there. And Snoop was like, listen, we want to change what everybody. Here go Leo. Snoop was playing both sides.
He
So
was though.
and when you watch him on Drink Champs, you can see that there was a shift at some point. Like, because even Nori mentioned to him, like when Suge was on stage and was like, if you don't want to have your producer dancing all in the videos with you, the camera pans to Snoop in the audience, like, yeah. But then Snoop interjects and says, well, we had to. He was the leader of Death Row, right? To kind of
But Snoop also went on stage and be like, y'all ain't got no motherfucking love for the West Coast. He did that same shit.
yeah.
He did the same shit. At some point, Snoop was playing both fucking sides. Let's be honest, he was.
Well,
But what
now
happened
he owns Death Row.
But what really fucked him up, Tupac getting killed fucked him up. Like, he admitted, like, he said when Tupac died and got killed, he thought he was next. A nigga called Louis Farrakhan. He called Louis Farrakhan, asked Farrakhan to set up a meeting. So to try to get this shit squashed. He also bought a car and made it bulletproof. He bought a bulletproof car after Pac got killed.
I would have too.
Yeah.
I would have too, because at that point it was open season for any rapper. I would have too.
Yeah.
And now he's saying he wants all of that behind him. Him and Puff have this NFT and they're trying to make amends. And even Snoop addressed Un and was like, Un, if you got a problem with it, come see me. I don't care. This is what we're doing. Like, Snoop wanted all the smoke with Un. It was a wild interview. Leo says Snoop understood a beef with Puff equal bad boy New York business, so he always kept that New York line clear. And he said that, like, Snoop said that he would come to New York and, you know, try, and he would go to 107 and speak with Angie and have all these interviews, and he made sure that he still had good connections and love in New York so that he wouldn't have to, because he said at that time he had just came off of Murder Was a Case, and he was in New York with no weapon security, no weapons on him. He didn't want to be in New York with the beef and not have no shooters with him, so he had to make nice.
Well, no, I mean, it's that, you know what I mean, you know, and you gotta make a call. Like, you know what I mean, for real, like this is like not so much, you know what I mean, you're just gonna be checking in with random people, but you know what I'm saying, you'll make a call to certain people, you know what I mean, for, you know, like, yo, we coming out here, and I'm just like, man, you know, Biggie had to do that with E40. Like, that's how you found out like E40 is like a real guy, like out in Oakland. Like, if you gotta do a show out there, especially during them times, you better call him. You know what I mean? And that's what Biggie and them did. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we in the jam, and the E40 come down there, and it's, you know, everything cleared up. So that really happened.
Well, let's end it here, fellas. Another successful Wednesday
Yeah, no
in
doubt.
the bag. I'm gonna go and recover from all the Jay-Z slander that I had to hear tonight, because that was a lot on the spirit, but I enjoyed it. Brooklyn, stand up. So we'll give our parting words. I'll start with Mark.
Uh, man, you know, it was just good to come back. You know what I mean, for real with y'all. You know, I was like, it feel like I ain't been on in a minute. So I mean, you know, it was cool. No Jay-Z slander over here from me. I was like, man, you know what I mean? Jay put Philly on the map. You know what I'm saying? I like, man, that Rockefeller situation with Philly was love. Shout to state property always. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I'm good there. You know what I mean? And when we talked about, you know what I mean, for this mental illness and shit like that, I was just like, look, you know what I mean? I'm going to say two things, right? You know what I'm saying? If you got kids, you know what I mean, for that, you know, they always picking with people, bullying people, shit like that. Stop that bullshit. You know what I mean? For, you know, because this is how these motherfuckers is born. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know what I mean, for real, be cool. Yeah, I mean, I ain't saying you can't cut on people. I'm like, shit, you do that all the time. But you don't gotta go overboard on the same motherfucker, you know what I mean, for real, who ain't really snapping back at you. You know what I'm saying? Stop that bullshit, man. We're all too sensitive for that. So, you know what I mean? Ease up on the motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Give them that, keep them moving. Because that's the motherfucker who's going to call you one day and be like, stay home from school. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, you know what I mean? So, look, you know what I mean? Just kind of be kind to each other, be cool with each other, man. I ain't saying I got to be your best friend, but give motherfuckers some dap, keep it moving. All right?
I'll go next, and if Merv, you could take us out. Rest in peace to those children. It's really sad, and I pray that we don't have to have this conversation again. But unfortunately, I feel like we will. I would really love for the world to stop using mental health as an excuse to do some criminal shit. It ain't always a mental health issue. You're just a psycho and a killer. And maybe your mother should have hugged you longer. Who knows? Maybe your daddy should have came around often. Who knows? But I really wish that people would stop using the trendy mental health in so many conversations. It is a very real thing, and this world does make you go inside your head and run around like crazy. But I feel like, especially in hot topic news, mental health is going to be used a lot more to get people off of crimes, and it's sad. Brooklyn, stand up. Jay-Z and Biggie all day. BK all day. I have endured the Jay-Z slander enough. Thank you, Leo. I'm looking at you sideways now. Now, Merv, it's on you.
Yo, y'all really covered most of the shit that I agree with. Yo, we gotta accept that it is really just some evil people in this fucking world. We gotta accept that it's really some people that don't give a fuck, and really some people, kind of like Biggie first album, that's ready to die. Um,
Hmm.
do you think everybody that commits suicide has a mental illness, or they just really feel like life has overwhelmed them? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that commit suicide just ready to die because they felt life has overwhelmed them, where they don't want to deal with the everyday struggles anymore of trying to stay positive, worrying about this, worrying about that. And to me, if you a mass shooter is somebody that's ready to die. Um and to me, a mass shooter, somebody that commits that kind of heinous of a crime, they're just somebody that refuse to. They rather not commit suicide, but if they get killed, they okay with dying that day. And somebody that's okay with dying violently, I don't think that has to do with mental illness. They just got fed up with the world, stress, and the world has overwhelmed them, and they just decide not to deal with it anymore, and they decide to take violence out. They really decide to choose violence, rather on themselves, other people, and then until somebody shoot them. But we got to stop using mental illness, because people are using that to their defense, to their advantage, when they do commit a crime, and we're giving them a cop out. A lot of people gets off from court, going to a psychiatric ward or help because of insanity plea. And also with the guns, that guy was 18 years old.
Hmm.
A lot of people that's been going to court for shootings or for guns, it's been young people. It's been young people like
Yeah.
under 25.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion, we got to raise the age of the fucking of being by a gun. Like, you can't. It's hard as fuck to go rent a car at 18. Take your ass to Enterprise, rent a car, Hertz rent a car, and be 18 years old and try to rent a fucking car. You gotta get your parent to co-sign. You gotta get somebody older to co-sign just to rent a car. Having possession of a gun is way more fucking dangerous and liable than having possession of a fucking car. But it's easier to buy a fucking gun to rent a car. Think about it. At 18 years old, it's easier for me to walk inside a gun shop and buy a gun where I can end a lot of people's lives. As opposed to, on the other hand, it's hard as fuck for me to go inside Enterprise and rent a car. You got to have proof of residence. You got to have a bill in your name. You got to have a lot of shit just to rent a car.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. If you really think about it that way, that shit really don't make any fucking sense logically or legally. So we really need to up the age of being able to buy a gun. And we also need to look at, if somebody's buying a gun, they need to go to class. Like, you buy a gun, maybe you gotta go to class for the CWP. And maybe while you in that class, you have a psych person for these classes just to read people body language, different kind of signs. They like, I'm not sure they're ready to pass this class and to have a gun. But we got to make some kind of changes with this gun shit.
Yeah. Yeah, make. Yeah, listen. You have to take the SATs to get into college. Give them a test like that. You know what I mean?
Something.
Then you find out who y'all mean for go own a gun or not. Shit, that test was hard as fuck.
Something. It should not be easier to get a gun than to rent a fucking car.
Or to get baby formula.
Yeah, that too.
You can't even go in the store and buy Similac, but you can go and buy AR-15. Sure can, but that's another pod. We'll save that for later.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the end of my soapbox.
No doubt.
So Beck, hit us with the shout out.
All right. We want to thank you everybody for watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We got Blackjack TV. We have
one more thing. Happy birthday, Bobby Blackjack.
Happy birthday, Bobby
Happy
Blackjack.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's it. I won't serenade y'all. We've had enough of that. Yeah, I won't do that. We want to thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the Guys Podcast. We will be here again Monday. Right, Mark?
No, that's Memorial Day.
Memorial
it sure is a holiday.
Memorial Day.
Thank you for reminding me, because I would have damn sure.
Yeah, that's Memorial Day.
No, but be Tuesday. P-Valley. No.
Season 1 recap. And so Tuesday we're gonna do the conclusion. The first 10 minutes will be just to talk about the conclusion of We Own the City. If you haven't seen it, it's based on a true story about the corruption of Baltimore Gun Trace Police Department. It's really well written. Mark, you're a Wire fan. You should watch it because the same person that produced The Wire produced it, and it's written really good. The acting is good. So Mark, if you haven't watched We Own the City, I think you should check it out.
I wanted to binge it. You know what I mean? So that way I could get to watch them all.
Okay. Yeah, 10 actors from The Wire is in We Own the City.
Yep.
So first 10 minutes, we're gonna do the conclusion of that. And then the rest of the part is going to be the season 1 recap of P-Valley before we go into season 2, episode 1 of P-Valley. And Wednesday,
this Tuesday starts P Tuesdays.
It's Pussy Valley Tuesdays.
Gotcha.
I was trying to keep it clean, man.
For what?
Just anybody who happens to have this coming out of their TV or their what's the thing with Amazon?
We
Alexa.
tell people all the goddamn time, this is not a goddamn kid show. This is not family friendly. So don't have to bring them motherfuckers around here on goddamn Wednesday. Say all the goddamn time. Or
Tuesdays starting next Tuesday. So So whoever wants to join in on that conversation, P-Valley Tuesdays is definitely going to be lit. So make sure y'all catch up, because next Tuesday starts the season 1 breakdown. Then every Tuesday following, we are going to get into the paint. We are going to be down in the valley where the girls get naked. I'm excited. Anyway, Thank you so much. Happy Wednesday to y'all. We appreciate you. Could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Anyway, peace, y'all. Good night.